We're in it, the dog days of summer. With days that feel stickier than an airport Cinnabon, and a restlessness that the season invariably brings, my thoughts have been all over the place. So, here is some pop cultural tic-tac-toe, 7 things on my mind. Feel free to clip and steal, it might make conversational fodder at your next barbecue or patio schmooze. Justin Bieber, right, and his fiancée, model Hailey Baldwin. Or is it the other way around? The Associated Press 1. Downton's crowning glory, crank up the gramophone. The Downton Abbey movie is a go, as you may have heard. Officially announced last week, the big screen continuation of the beloved TV serial has gone into production. But what, and how? Well, since the timeline of the series ended in 1925, and the movie is expected to pick up soon after, it occurs to me that the show might be rubbing up against the Crown territory, with the arrival of Princess Elizabeth. The future queen was born in 1926, after all, and everyone, including the royalists of Downton Abbey, would undoubtedly be up on the news. Beyond the zigs and zags of the Crawley clan, however, clearly, the Dowager Countess is destined to live until she's 150. What has long intrigued me is the late-blooming triumph of its creator, Julian Fellowes. Here is someone who toiled for some 3 decades as a minor character actor before eventually cracking fame by nabbing an Oscar for screenwriting, for the film Gosford Park, which acted as both an inspiration for Downton Abbey, and something of a prequel, and then becoming a true player, in his 60s, with the ascent of his show. A multitasker of the greatest order since, he's written novels, dabbled for the stage, has another show in incubation. The British Wiz turns 70 next year, coinciding neatly with the new movie. Article continued below too. Separated at rebirth. So, about Justin Bieber's engagement to Hailey Baldwin, daughter of that one Baldwin brother who is both a born-again and big-time Trump supporter. No doubt, some of you have thoughts. My main one is this: can someone come up with an app I can use to distinguish between Hailey and Justin? A Shazam for face recognition? These two look so much alike it supports a micro-theory I have that couples who look like one another are more likely to wed. There's actually some science behind this, it's calling genetic assortative mating. Look it up, darlings. 3. Screen diversions. With TV being a bottomless well these days, as well as a year-round affair, the idea of seasons is now almost moot. Here's something I'm pretty into: Killing Eve, which begins its run in Canada, on the Bravo network, July 22nd, and for which Sandra Oh just became the first Asian woman to get Emmy nominated for Best Dramatic Actress. My verdict: it's like John le Carré meets Dexter, but with 2 trippy female leads, and a dash of Tarantino-esque flair. Something else: the second season of The Bold Type, which has often gets marketed as mere millennial candy, but manages to be aspirational and frothy, but also daringly on it in terms of issues, both social and technological. The worthiest contender to Sex and the City since SATC? Possibly. Finally, I've gotten into the weirdly earnest and mesmerizing Japanese reality show Terrace House on Netflix. It's like the unreal world, and a pretty distinct lens into a whole other culture. Point 4. Model home in Muskoka. Article continued below. Shizbach. Closer to home, Cindy Crawford has been spotted doing the party circuit on Lake Joseph with her husband, Randy Gerber. Thought you should know. The Muskoka regulars were recently seen at the dockside with the whole family in Canada. Cindy's daughter, Kaya Gerber, an emerging supermodel in her own right, has also been spied doing some paddle boarding. Point 5. Know his name. Staying close to Toronto, possibly you've noticed the gauzy, curvaceous pavilion going up on King Street near Portland. Called Unzipped, it's a remount of the art installation leveled by starchitect B.R.K. Ingalls at the Serpentine Galleries in London, an architectural folly unveiled every summer during its big deal, Serpentine Gala. Now that it's being reassembled here in Canada by Allied and Westbank, on a plot of land where they're building a complex by Ingalls, it bears mentioning that this is the guy who was dubbed the first great architect of the YouTube generation in a sweeping New Yorker profile. Moreover, the 43-year-old Zufra is one that has, thus far, include the new Google headquarters in California, and the 2 World Trade Center skyscraper in Manhattan. Most importantly, here is probably the most essential bit of info you need to know about him, if you're planning to name-drop him to friends. His first name is pronounced Bayer K.6. Read his book because you know I'm always good for a book rec. Here's one, The Italian Teacher, by Canada's Tom Rachman. Having risen to fame with his international bestseller The Imperfectionists a few years back, this new one is full emotional voyage, centered on a character who is the son of a mega-celebrated artist. Starts in the Dolce Vita era in Rome, shifts to Toronto in the 1970s, and then floats between London, New York and the south of France. Finally attuned to both the serendipities and catch-22s of a life, it's about family, loyalty and authenticity. Sharp specks of satire. 2.7. Mark your calendars. Who's ready for Madonna to turn 60? Well, you have a few weeks to mentally prepare. The original Shapeshifter hits that milestone on August 16, with pop culture still reeking of her influence. As a piece in The Guardian recently put it, the Material Girl's greatest achievement may just be her sheer survival. For era of superstars, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Prince, she's the last one left standing. Shannon Gavana is a freelance columnist based in Toronto covering culture and society. Follow him on Twitter, @ShananGavani.